Hi Aquarius, welcome to your December tarot reading. It's Allie, your friendly mystic. If you're new or old here, it's great to be able to share energy and space with you. Thank you so much for being here. Now, if you're very familiar with YouTube tarot readings or familiar with my tarot readings, you can jump to this timestamp here to get right into the reading. Or if you're new and you'd like to get a kind of a rundown of my readings, important things to keep in mind as to help you interpret readings, you can stick around. So to start with, this reading is intended for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and any other particularly important Aquarius placements you might have. I won't get into the astrology about that, but if you know that you have a very strong Aquarius placement, maybe you've talked to an astrologer or you dabble in astrology or an astrologer yourself, and you know that Aquarius placement is very important to you, you can watch this reading for that placement. Now, my readings are also timeless, so they're not bound to the month that they're posted in. They may or may not be timely for you. You find this reading when you're meant to find it. I set the intention when I make the titles of my readings to draw in the people they're meant to draw in. So if the title is resonating with you, then that means that reading is for you. Now, my readings are also super general. I cannot possibly read for every single Aquarius placement at once, so unfortunately, I can only really read for the people who resonate with me and can hear the message from me. So that's only going to be a core group of people. And I also set the intention for the reading to be for those who need them. So if this message isn't for you, if you're not needing a message at the moment from me, then this might not resonate with you either. So, and also because they're general, I just want to make sure I cover this, is that sometimes not all the details in a reading will fit. So take what resonates, leave the rest. If there's some particular subgroup or detail that I'm pointing out that doesn't necessarily resonate with you or your particular situation, just leave that on the cutting board. Really, you don't need to take everything from this reading. They're too general to be able to take everything. And then a small disclaimer around the words or the terminology feminine and masculine. I almost always use those words to talk about energy and not about genitalia or gender identity. So if I'm saying that someone is a feminine energy, that does not necessarily mean they are a woman. If I'm saying somebody's a masculine energy in a situation, it doesn't necessarily mean they're a man. We all possess feminine and masculine energy in different ratios and different proportions. And depending on situations, we might have to inhabit different energies. So if you're in a confrontation with somebody, sometimes it's more helpful to inhabit a Mars aspect, a masculine aspect, with aggression, be able to handle confrontation and to stand up for yourself, as opposed to maybe if you're trying to reconcile with somebody or you're trying to smooth things over, feminine energy might be more appropriate for the situation. It's really going to depend, and we don't always utilize the best energy depending on the situation. We can only do that when we have the awareness to do so. So yeah, when I read the cards, I'm reading the energy that they're currently inhabiting in that particular situation with you, or around you. It may not be, hold on, there's one more thing that wants to come through. It's, I don't always I can't read the perspective of you always. So when you hear the reading and the situation is ringing a bell, but you're not the protagonist, quote unquote, in the spread, you'll be able to identify who that reading is for generally. If it clicks, you'll know where it clicks. Really, when it hits you, it hits you, right? So now let's get into the reading. So the first card I pull for all of my readings now is from my personal Major Arcana deck. So I will pull a card from this deck that is basically reading the energy surrounding around, or like kind of encapsulating the reading itself. So and also or can be about related life lessons that are coming through the Major Arcana in regards to the spread, in regards to the situation. So that's going to be different for each and every one of you and how that rings. what bells that sets off or rings, or dots that connect. So you will be able to know, and we'll get more clarity as we go on. So Source, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, please help me to connect with the collective of Aquarius and communicate the messages in their highest good. Source, spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Aquarius. Communicate the messages in their highest good. Source, spirit guides, guardian angels, benevolent ancestors, please help me to connect with the collective of Aquarius and communicate the messages in their highest good. All right, Aquarius. So whatever group of Aquariuses I'm dealing with is going through some sort of soul connection. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection. You may have run into a type of soulmate of some kind. Could be platonic. But it's a level of intimacy that you may not be familiar with, or a connection that's kind of really jarring for you. And it's kind of, it could be very triggering for you, especially if you're very used to being independent and not really needing that emotional connection, because this person might be needing that, or are needing that. I'm not sure. We'll see as we read. It's also if you are not necessarily in that group of relationship. This is also just learning to balance opposing needs, learning to find relationship with self and really nurture yourself. So it could be the self-lovers card for you right now. I'm depending on what situation is really ringing a bell in your life, but there's some kind of union either with yourself, with your higher self, or with another. And learning to make sure that commitment is, I guess, followed through on. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but the commitment is coming through. So if you've agreed to something, or you currently, there's something that is wanting to come, like a person wants to commit to you, and you are kind of like, there's a commitment. You're either making a commitment to yourself, or you're making a commitment to somebody else, or you could be on the precipice of doing so, or in a decision making about that. Now, let's get into the main spread and get into this reading. Alright, Aquarius, so I have your decks picked out. So for your main spread, I'm using the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition in the tin. It's little, I love it, it's perfect for somebody with small hands like me. And then this big old deck here, the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. So the main spread will be, like I said, with the Smith-Waite, and then the Oracle cards, or that I like to pull at the end for advice, will be from the Wild Unknown Archetypes. But let's get right in to your main spread. Bottom of the deck, we see a conflict of some kind. Winning at all costs. Something we don't want to sacrifice for the sake of somebody else. What messages do you have for Aquarius? What messages do you have for Aquarius? We got a little flyer over there. I like how it's propped up, don't you? You see how little these are? They're wonderful. Honestly, they look almost normal size in my hands. I think I might get another one of these. But what messages do you have for Aquarius? What messages do you have for Aquarius? Okay, let's read these. But first out, all on its own, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So there's a lack of charity here. Something is not really being offered. Um, Lots, I feel like a sense of withholding, not wanting to let somebody in. I see the scales. I just read Libra, so perhaps you're dealing with Libra. Then an Ace of Swords and a Eight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there we have a lot of doubt and we are not moving forward on it. We can't move forward because of the doubt we have. I just saw 234 on the clock. Some other messages to have for Aquarius. But they look very, I didn't realize how little they might look on camera, but oh, someone's really new to this. Oh, let me move this light so you don't see so much of that. There we go. I have a page, an Ace of Cups, and a Queen of Cups. The page in reverse. That's really interesting because there's something inherently imbalanced about something, and a page to a queen does not, like, a page does not make a king, right? But there's this like love and this compassion and this generousness, like just right in the, or like I'm getting like this like very deep emotional connection between these two people, but somebody's really acting in a very immature, from an immature place, from a very almost, I had the word landlocked came to mind, like very stuck in 3D kind of thinking, or very stuck in old patterns almost. I feel like I'm just seeing like beaten earth, like being tread upon over and over. Which, I mean, page indicates being new to something, but it's almost like they just don't want to move away from what they already know, which in this page of pentacles is not very much. So they're like walking in a circle almost. But this queen is more than ready to give and receive. I see this cup here, and then this cup kind of coming forth, emanating, and like this offering coming from this queen, and this page completely has the back turned. I'm getting a sense that this is this sense of unbalance and lack of forth giving. I just saw 444 on the clock. I saw 333 earlier. I didn't say anything, but lots of angel numbers here. Is just this lack of forthrightness almost. Like we're just not willing to speak the thing. Especially that we're not willing to even like be even-handed in how we speak about this. We're just not, we're not talking about it at all. The Ace of Swords in reverse is not does not make for great communication, and then it's really putting a halt on whatever it is that is wanting to make progress with this Queen of Cups. That's just completely halted. It's gone, or not gone per se, because the queen is still sitting there offering, but the page is not accepting. The page almost wants to, it's like the page is pretending it's not there. The page is like, what? And to be honest, Aquarius, I have to say, based on what I was getting earlier from the Lover's card I was reading, this might be you. I just got a descending number 534 on the clock, so perhaps that's not the case. Perhaps this is somebody that you're dealing with, and it's really upsetting for you. But you and this Queen of Cups space is interesting. Ooh. I feel like we're being strung along. Like what's the, and I see the scales again from, I don't know if you can see, well, this is the Justice card, so you'll be able to see scales right there, and then in this scales, both in reverse. So yeah, really no sense of like a balanced, fair way of going about something, and somebody just kind of being held in suspense because somebody else hasn't made up their mind about how to go about this, or is being held in suspense as somebody is figuring out how to be a balanced person. That's not, I don't like that. Well, that's interesting. Getting the Hermit and the Three of Cups. I've been getting the Hermit. I got the Hermit last in the Libra reading, and the Three of Cups has come up again. I believe it has come up in all of the readings. I'm not entirely sure. but it's come up quite frequently. I think people are having lots of tribal dynamic issues, um, social issues. I mean, to be fair, this is a big, great signature for um, COVID. Just Three of Cups in reverse with the Hermit. Talk about isolation, or social isolation. Um, I feel like this is actually kind of almost a benefit around, if this is timely for you, it seems like kind of the benefit of being in isolation, whether or not you've done that by social isolating or even emotional distancing, because you are kind of turned away from, um, or you're getting a lot of insight around what it is, like what actually healthy social relationships look like, and you're looking you're looking to the past about the people you've fraternized with. I think that's the word. You've socialized with, and you've called friends, and realizing, oh, those actually weren't friends at all, which is a very similar message that I believe Gemini had. So I think for this queen, it seems like they've done this work. They know what's real and what isn't, and they see that this connection is real. But there's a lot of doubt within this Page of Pentacles, which makes it very difficult for them to receive. And I'm afraid, I am worried that the queen might be too giving, because they've been dealing with excuse me. They've been dealing with this unhealthy social dynamic, unhealthy connections for so long, or like false connections almost, that once they found something that felt real, they're like, they don't want to give up on it. Do you like being able to see the cards shuffling? Let me know. I like to show the cards shuffling. Otherwise, you're just seeing my table. But you mean, I like my table. It's nice. The cool thing about this little deck and this table means that I can, and this table's small, but with the little deck I can have a lot of cards out. So that's nice. So, any other messages? Excuse me. I just had a bunch of water because I drink like 3 liters a day. Oh my goodness. It is interesting because it's not that this page is just taking, but I get the sense that this page refuses to give and refuses to receive because of other things. I would imagine something going on. Actually, I'll leave these over here. Let's pull some clarifiers for the Page of Pentacles. Actually, see what's going on with them. Can you clarify the Page of Pentacles, please? Interesting. Temperance and the 6 of Wands. Temperance coming reverse. I get the sense that there is somebody oscillating between like what they've known and what could be, and an optimism of what could be, but all of the cynicism of what they've known. I've been seeing the Temperance this way. I'm getting tingles. This came through, I believe, for the Libra reading as well. It's just this like, oh, this is gonna be great, it's gonna be wonderful, but I can't trust it. I can't move forward with it. People will just take from me. And because if somebody's in like a reverse 6 of Pentacles, it's really not a balanced place. But that's because of whatever they dealt with or experienced before was also really unfair, unjust, and maybe that's part of why they're replicating it, because they just don't know how to trust. They don't know how to trust, but I do feel like they're kind of in this more um this more immature place. They haven't risen above um these limiting beliefs, and they haven't taken I think part of that is because they haven't taken the lessons from that to find that balance again. Lots of it's this is there's a lot of talk of balance here with the Six of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Temperance card, all in reverse. Just a lack of balance. There is also the Six of Wands here. It is almost like I was getting the sense that somebody just wants to stay in the middle ground of a project, or not a project per se, but like of a situation. Like it's like, oh, it's so happy. Like what how do I explain this? Um slow down. It's like when you reach a checkpoint in something and you celebrate that milestone, but you want to stay in the celebration of the milestone, you don't actually want to progress. Now, in the upright tells me that this page has indeed reached a milestone. But they don't want I get this Temperance in reverse as them like wanting to go all the way back, or all the like they can't seem to be they can't seem to like make a decision, or make that decision from a balanced place, which is sad because I think that this queen is right about this connection being very powerful. What else? Let's see what's going on with the queen, because I feel like the queen... Oh. Oh. This is what the queen's overcome. Look at that. Look at that. How? This is why the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Cups right now. She's gone through it. Like, this just feels... In reverse, the Three of Swords really does feel like healing, but like a wound from the past. And with this, like a relationship ending, a huge wound from the past that she's overcome. So that because she's like, this is what she has to be afraid of. Which is like, I understand that the Page of Pentacles has their own issues and their own trauma, but the Queen is dealing with something really heavy in regards to the heart, and still willing to put themselves out there because they have done the work to really investigate what's in their cup, to really make sure that their cup is full, so that they're not needing somebody else to fill their cup. This queen feels so rock solid. Like, they feel serene, but willing to experience the depths of themselves without reservation, willing to offer a cup without... Like, this queen, it's interesting because this queen is willing to give this cup to this page with no strings attached. But the page is so afraid that there are strings attached. Strings attached, hangman. There is a sense of like, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be... From this page, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be in suspense. I don't want to have to balance my needs with another. Again, going back to that Lover's card I pulled from the beginning, it's just, yeah, they're so afraid of being tied up in anything that they don't want to commit or balance any of it. And to be fair, if the Queen of Cups just wants to give the cup and, like, put the offer on the table and leave it there, they can do that. It seems like they're in a balanced enough place to understand that other people's baggage is going to maybe hinder or obviously according in this spread is hindering the ability to make that connection, but they're so willing to go through that even if it's painful because they know that inherently they have the self-worth and the resiliency to experience another heartache like that for because of how promising this connection is, um like when it works. You know what I mean? I just, oh, oh. I am so, it's very interesting. It's a very opposite dynamic for the two of them. One's in a very lack mindset, and the other, despite what they've gone through, is feeling much more generous and willing to give. I think this Queen of Cups really has an understanding of like the true meaning of love. We might have somebody else involved. So there's a Queen of Wands in reverse with a Four of Pentacles and a Five of Wands. This kind of, I feel like this has something to do with this Page of Pentacles. Also, because the Four of Pentacles really gives me lack mindset. Like I gotta hold on to these four with everything I have, and I have no room for anything else. It's kind of that like if to receive abundance, you kind of have to be open but willing, like able to hold space, as opposed to like the Four of Pentacles being like I have to grip everything I have, otherwise I'll lose it. Um, if that makes sense. I feel like this Queen of Wands could have something to do with. Oh, interesting. May have something to do with this page's lack mentality. That's just how it's feeling. This could also be the Queen of Cups in a less evolved state. This could be the past of the Queen, but I'm sensing that this could have been a mother figure, or parental figure, that was imbalanced, just demanding. This is a very you know what, just up your butt about everything, quick to anger, domineering, kind of controlling individual, not willing to. It's definitely an unhealthy. Like an unhealthy, demanding perfection kind of mom kind of archetype, I guess is how I would put that. And there may have been within the past may have been I'm gonna put this, yeah, I'll leave that there. There may have been some tight financial issues in the past with in regards to this Queen of Wands and this Page of Pentacles. As I'm reading it, there were tight finances, and then just lots of arguing and inability to see eye to eye on anything, and no sense of. I looked at the Justice card when that came. It's like no sense of justice, no sense of like evening things out, really. So I think this is part of what the page is dealing with, and overcoming this is they have this tight sense of finances. This could also be this queen in this page, may be talking about some sort of financial matter, and the page is feeling very it feels pinched a little bit because where they're from or what they've dealt with in the past has been like having just enough to get by, feeling some sense of security in what they have, but ultimately not feeling like they can make anything. They're just making it. You know what I mean? Um, there's food on there's food on their plate. There's a roof above their heads. Um, they have a steady income, but they never have more. They can't really generate more than they consume, I guess. Does that make sense? Like they're not. I think I'm gonna leave that, and then just perhaps this also is relating to arguing about finances, arguing about um how much they have. Yeah. So I think this is also kind of feeling that that lack mentality has spread to an emotional one because it's caused so much the finances have caused so much cacophony and fighting in the house. I want to say this is in the house. This feels like a potential familial dynamic. This could also be a relationship dynamic between this Page of Pentacles and this Queen of Wands, who were in relation with one another, lived together, and it was this situation. But you know, whether or not that's the particular manifestation, uncertain. Where are we? All right, I'm gonna pull a few more cards and see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Any other messages for Aquarius? I feel like there's more behind that Six of Wands, but I'm really not certain. I do feel like if they, because normally a Six of Wands is really like a forward momentum, like you've reached something, you can celebrate it now. You have what you need to move forward with whatever it is with gusto, and move toward that new thing. I see them on the horse. They're being cheered on by people. I feel like once they balance this temperance energy that they haven't really been balancing or that are currently unbalanced about, then they will have that feeling of gusto and that support. Give themselves that support so they can actually move forward with this Queen of Cups. But they kind of have to resolve this. It does kind of, when I see a page in reverse, I often think of like inner child work. Like the inner child, so kind of going into a regress state. Because whatever the situation is, it's bringing up triggers from the past. There could have been some abuse. Like I see, like, you know, actually using switches in the house. Don't know if anyone. And then the Eight of Pentacles. There's more there. There's more there. Okay, that might be part of that. And the Two. Boy howdy. So to me, this is just like not being able, again, until they resolve this conflict, until they let go, until they're willing to suspend, they need to be able to suspend their current belief system so that they can actually let something else in and like find balance with temperance, with fairness, even in financial matters. I feel like this Queen of Wands may have also been a very greedy figure. I see the Four of Pentacles that can often relate to greed. And lots of fighting about that. So that's part of, I think that might relate to the Six of Pentacles and not willing to share because they had whatever they had taken away from them by a previous relationship with this Queen of Wands. Whatever that relationship is, not necessarily romantic. Just want to clarify. So they're not willing to put in the work at all right now. And they won't be able to put in the work, the tangible steps to make this connection real. And I do say, there is a very, I think that's what I was picking up with this Temperance card, is the sense of indecision, of just going back and forth, like, oh, this could be really great. This feel like they feel it. If there's no way that this Queen of Cups knows this, like, has felt this connection, and this Page doesn't also feel it. They just have to get out of this Page mindset. They have to inhabit that king, you know. If this is to be a feminine and masculine energy, they need to inhabit a king energy in order to be a proper match for this queen, because as a Page they just can't be. So again, waffling with the decision, just the tangible decision, waffling with the way they feel about it. Um, and as long as they are waffling, they won't be able to make any momentum, make any moves, or take any tangible motion towards it at all. Okay, I think I'm ready to pull oracle cards. So I will be using the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krantz. I absolutely love this deck, and it makes my hands look so little. It is, oh, that's so funny. The first card out is the Judge in reverse. It just happened to slide off the top of the bottom of the deck while I was taking it out, so that's definitely the Justice again. Actually, we won't shuffle on top of the cards because I'm messing them up. Now, if you are liking my readings, you enjoy me as a reader, and you'd like to get more of these videos, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you'd like to exchange energy for this reading, claim it, feel free to use the like button for that. It really helps people find my reading, helps them, helps this reading find the people it's meant to find. I would love to comment, or love a comment. I love a comment from you if you want to talk about this reading, if you want to talk about how it's manifesting in your life, or just hit me with any comments, questions, concerns. I'm more than willing to talk with y'all. Helps me feel like I'm reading for people and not just to my phone. And if you are interested in personal readings from me, there will be a link in the description to my website, friendlymystic.com, which will provide all of the information for personal readings, and the ability to book them there. So, let's see what other messages, or what advice wants to come through on this. What advice do you have for Aquarius? There it is. So we have the Stone. I'm thinking of this as archetypes that may be helpful to you to meditate on in this situation, depending on which party you are. And the Mirror. I'm getting the sense that the Mirror is for the Page, the Stone is for the Queen, but I will read the guidebook briefly to see. But the Mirror, really. Reflection, yeah. I do quite love this. There it is. The Mirror. I will hold this up to the camera for you to see. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. So when the light, this is witnessing the deeper self, pure awareness, and when dark, narcissism, comparison, harsh edges. But yeah, I do sense the need for some reflection. Maybe it might be helpful for this Page of Pentacles to do some mirror work. Not just, picking themselves apart in a mirror, but really get an idea of what kind of, of their self-perception. And then, oh, that's so interesting. I'm just noticing that these cards are right next to each other in the deck. So, I don't know what Roman numeral that is, but I know it precedes the Mirror. So that's quite interesting. Now let's read the stone. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go, therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side. No matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. This just feels like grounding. This feels like some major grounding. And I feel as though for the queen, if they are getting if they get swept up in this energy, this trauma around a ending of a relationship, though it does feel like there's a healing here, they just need to remember to stay grounded. And I think that grounding is good for anybody, really. And I feel like this page could use some grounding too. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, Aquarius. I don't know where my words are today, but stay happy, stay healthy, all right?